So, wowing audiences in 4 continents, this masterful blend of magician, mentalist, and hypnotist is a magician member of the Magic Castle in Hollywood, California. At age 17, he was recognized as a prodigy hypnotist and continues to grow in virility with his YouTube channel. His entertainment is unorthodox, and he's here to blow your minds, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen and ladies, please welcome Fred Lee.
All right, thanks for having me. You guys can hear me okay? I don't sound like a chipmunk or anything?
You're good.
All right, perfect. So we're going to do something, and it's pretty interactive. So Nick, I'm going to have you do one thing in just a moment. But before I do, you may notice that on this little stand is a envelope, and this is a gift, a part of a gift that my mom gave me, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But first, magic, since that's why we're all here in the first place. Mm-hmm. And just to make it easier for those at home, I'm going to come in a bit close, and what I'll do is, if you've seen Wheel of Fortune, the little ticker thing on the wheel, my thumb is going to act as that. So as I go through the cards, I'm going to have you say stop. But before we do, I have to preface that some people, for some reason, whenever I have them select a card, they always put themselves on a pedestal like the royalty or something. So try not to do that. Just go and say stop on a card that feels right to you. Sound good, Nick?
Got it.
All right. I'm just going to go through, and at any time, just go ahead and just say stop. I heard something. Was it here?
Yep, right there.
Right there. And I'm just going to isolate it so you can see it the entire time. And I'm going to give you and the audience a peek at the card. So take a look and lock that in your mind. Let me know when you got that nice and clear.
Got it.
Good. And what I'll do is I'll actually just isolate from the rest of the pack even further, setting it down right there. Actually, I'll just trade places with the gift here. Fair as can possibly be. So, to reiterate, Nick, you selected one card, which is here. And because when people pick cards, they tend to forget. Just it's okay to say your card out loud. So what's the card that you selected?
The King of Hearts.
The King of Hearts. Interesting choice. And you could have stopped anywhere, and the audience can all testify. Now, this gift in particular is from my mom, as I mentioned before, and she got this gift all the way from Istanbul, Turkey. I don't know if you've been to that part of the world, Nick, but it's a lot worse in terms of heat than what it is here in California. So this is actually part of a gift, as I mentioned, because this is actually part of a deck of Turkish playing cards. And you said which card?
The King of Hearts.
The King of Hearts, and it just so happens that I have in the envelope exactly the King of Hearts.
Ooh.
Now, just to give you a little preface and kind of break things down, if you notice what I said earlier, and what's crazy about this is you can actually play back the tape. I said specific lines in a specific way. Like, for example, in the beginning when I said, now, when people select a card, what I notice is that some people put themselves on a pedestal like they're royalty or something. So instead of doing that, I want you to say stop at a card that feels right to you.
I get it now.
Right? A little psychology mixed in there. But here's the thing. You could have stopped at any card, but I am so certain that this worked brilliantly, because had you stopped at any other card, you would have drawn at a complete and total blank.
Wow.
Now, I put this entire routine together to showcase all 3 of my skill sets. You just only seen 2 so far. First being magic, second being mentalism, which is a mix of the psychology and influence and all that fun stuff. But the hypnosis aspect. Did you at any point feel like you were being hypnotized at all?
Nope.
And that's exactly what I specialize in, covert hypnosis. And I actually hypnotized you into believing that you've seen a playing card that never even existed in the first place.
Say what now?
And that's my act for you guys. So I'll be happy to talk questions.
Well done, Fred. That was the first time I seen you do that act, and I gotta say that was really good there. Now, Nick, this is the first time he's seen you. Could you give us like a background on where you learned hypnosis?
Yeah, so I'm pretty much self-taught. So basically my whole career is made from scratch. So I'm self-taught, books, and then I've got some influence by seeing performances either online or some events where my mom dragged me, because she is crazy religious. She dragged me to faith healing events, and I'm like, the way that they depict the whole God thing is a lot like how the media portrays hypnotists. So I'm like, maybe I could figure something out and be as close to the real thing as I can. And that's how I developed my own style.
Now, you actually do hypnosis, like you mentioned covert hypnosis, but I've seen you have a lot of YouTube, and you do hypnosis on the beach with, various people of all kinds, particularly beachgoers. Could you explain a little bit about that and where they could find it, actually?
Yeah, absolutely. So my YouTube channel is Fred Lee, so Fredlee, Mastermind, and you can just find it on YouTube, or just Google search hypnogod, like first part of hypnosis, second part God, slap them together. Something that my YouTube fans came up with, and you're going to find me straight up on the Google search instantly. So either one of those two works, or my website has all my social media links on there, which is fredleemind.com. And to give you a little more context of the overall genesis of the whole YouTube explosion that occurred, it all started when I just went to the beach, and I'm like, I got my phone. Why not just hypnotize random people, have them hold on to it and record and see what happens? And from there, it just blew up, and it's been a means for me to play with my craft as well as showcase to the world that hypnosis is pretty cool and also legitimate.
And you actually put them under hypnosis and make them do certain things that they otherwise wouldn't do in normal life. Am I correct?
Yep, that's what makes it a lot of fun. That's why the videos do as well as they do. Now, I can go into a whole spiel of the YouTube career, but that's like a totally different interview that we can talk about later.
I have a question. Do you ever use like hypnosis for like healing purposes? Like some people get hypnotized to quit smoking or to like ease anxiety about something. Have you helped people with that? Yeah,
so I have hypnotized via hypnotherapy a bunch of different clients. And that ranges from simple cases such as the fear of public speaking. That's like the number one thing people come to me for, because every single human being on the planet's like, the boss wants me to talk to a bunch of people that I don't know. I'm not too comfy about this. I might lose my job, and it gets pretty nutty for them. So that's the number one case. Smoking, weight loss, anxiety, name a case, I've handled them all.
Nice. I'll have to be in contact with you about some things, but nothing bad or anything like that, but just, it's always good to have a hypnotist in your back pocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm always glad to help.
Fred is the man to go to, Nick. He's obviously a great personality, a good friend, and I think he's been doing it for years. So definitely recommend him. Fred, where can we find you? Like on social media, what would be the best place to find you at?
Well, I'm pretty much on all of them. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube is one of my more active ones since I do post stuff on there. But if you want to keep up to date with all the things that I talk about, either Facebook or Instagram are going to be the top go-to. Or if you go on my site, I do have a newsletter that's monthly, and it keeps you up to date with some of the things I'm doing.
Well, thank you very much, Fred, for joining us today on Magic Meets Comedy, and we hope to have you back soon.
Sounds good, Chris. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care, buddy. Oops.
What do you think about that, Nick?
He's going to be on Buddy Cap, let me tell you.
Do you feel like you got hypnotized? Because I think I was getting hypnotized off screen.
Were you getting sleepy, Chris?
I go, Nick is having all the fun over here. I want to get hypnotized.
I can only imagine what he'd make you do.
Well.
Hey.